Alright, today we're gonna play a game called VVVVVV, or V6, or I'm playing this game basically because I wanted to get a game from every single decade, and this was the shortest one from the 2010s, as far as I know. Something's about to crash. Evacuate. The story is that you're Captain Viridian, and you're on a spaceship, and blida happens, and you gotta go find your crewmates. This game came out in 2010, and it was a part of the huge indie boom that happened around that time. It started with, I think, Braid. But in the late 2000s and early 2010s, we got a lot of unique indie games, everything from Limbo, Bastion, Magica. I don't know if these are all technically indie games. But Amnesia, The Dark Descent, Minecraft. My goal here is to simply beat the game, not get all of the shiny trinkets. There are 20 in the entire game, and some of them are very annoying to get. I picked this game because I've played it and beaten it many, many times. And I find it really, really fun to just pick up and play. Even if the title is incomprehensible. Yeah, the story is fairly simple, but it's brought to life by the personalities of each of the characters, even though they are largely simple. Captain Viridian here is almost always optimistic, always with a smile, even if it's upside down. And you'll notice that, well, the first thing you'll probably notice is that the soundtrack of this game is phenomenal. It is one of my favorites in any game ever. These chiptunes just sound amazing. And you could buy the soundtrack if you want. I would recommend it, even if you're not interested in the game. Like, this is my favorite rawest chiptune soundtrack, and I'm going to ignore that. If you're wondering, I have beaten this game with under 50 deaths, which is actually quite challenging to do, and it took me quite a while. The mechanics in this game are extremely simple. Like, you could play this game with an Atari controller if you wanted to. You can move in both directions and jump. That's it. Because checkpoints are so incredibly frequent, every single death feels fair and forgiving, and it's never frustrating. I don't want to say never frustrating, it's usually not frustrating. So now that we completed essentially the tutorial area, we can now go into the main game. There are 4 more crew members to find. They're all lost out in space, and we gotta go find them. Which should be fun. I'm not exactly going to try to speedrun this game, but I'm going to try to do it as fast as I possibly can. The only time I think this game would ever be frustrating is if you tried the no-death run, which I am nowhere near as I'm nowhere near skilled enough to try that. And this is a 2D platformer, which I don't want to do too many of them back to back. Or, I want to start by getting a wide variety of genres, and this kind of goes against it. There's not really much to talk about here. So now we're in space. This game plays a lot like a Metroidvania game, where you have to go into certain locations to find things, rather than your average 2D platformer. And usually, for some reason, I find my way to the tower first, because it seems to be the closest. Even though the tower is probably one of the more difficult side areas. Never mind the difficulties in just getting to it. See, you're gonna die a lot in this game, but it rarely ever will piss you off. And with just these minimal elements, this game has just an outstanding atmosphere. It seems both retro and futuristic at the same time. And here's the tower. And you're gonna notice the best song in the entire game. I think I played this during the Quadradius playthrough, which is just stellar. The tower can be very frustrating for a new player because it's an auto-scrolling area. Those are always fun. Unlike most auto-scrolling levels which go too slow though, this one can be a little bit too fast. You have to pay attention to your environment if you're going to want to survive. I would recommend not going for the shiny trinkets here unless you're well experienced. Now this area, you gotta just keep running. It's a very tight chokehold. And you gotta know when to wait before jumping. I just love how this game looks with what it can do with just very limited colors. And I like here how it directs you onto where to go by clever use of the background. Like, the background shows you where you're supposed to go. I mean, my thoughts here aren't going to be as insightful as they were in ActRaiser, because this game is more designed to be fun and simple rather than the weighty art. It was made to look like it was made to look like it can run on the Commodore 64, and it plays like an Atari game, just with modern technology. And this probably doesn't seem like much nowadays, because nowadays we have all sorts of indie games that rely on just one simple mechanic. It's kind of what the genre of indie games looks like. 2D platformers with just a simple mechanic. And a retro art style. And that's one of the 4. Yeah, we're about a quarter done with the game already. Let's go find the other guys. I'm wondering how fast I can pull this off. Stats, time taken, it's been 7 minutes. Sorry that I haven't posted any of these recently. I've been very busy. You know, life and minions, they get in the way. So, let's see. The map here, it looks a lot bigger than it is. This is actually very small and very compact. It can be hard to find your way around because there really aren't many landmarks. Also, I will say, if you suffer from seizures, I would advise turning the video off now before things get too intense. There are definitely some bright flashing lights in certain areas that are not pleasant. Ah, cool. Found another area. Each area has its own little gimmicks. This one is conveyor belts. I wouldn't say gimmick, it's more mechanics. This game doesn't really have gimmicks because I find them more mechanics than gimmicks, because it knows how to work with what it's got very, very well. I mean, V6, which I'm going to call it, isn't unique. Like, I'm not going to pretend at all that it's unique. We've had games with gravity gimmicks since the NES era. It's just how it uses what it got. It's just how it uses what it has. I cannot speak today. I think I took the wrong turn. You chose poorly. Ah. Sometimes the checkpoints can be obnoxious, not because you don't have enough of them, but because there are too many of them. Sometimes they'll put a checkpoint after you've taken a very difficult path, so you can't just die and get back to where you were. which is an interesting way to annoy you with checkpoints. Yeah, I play this game whenever I just want to feel happy, I guess. It's one of those games that does that for me. Which I can't say about too many games. Up we go. Just keep... Alright, it's easier to tackle it from this way. And boop. And yes, the names of each of the areas have funny jokes or sarcastic wit. Which is definitely charming. This game is very charming. Oh, this can be difficult. There we go. The cuckoo. The solution is dilution. Okay. Ah. I'm wondering how many deaths I'm going to have by the end of this. Because I'm probably going to have a lot. I mean, the only time this game is frustrating is when you are going for a lack of deaths run. Because you have to keep loading your old saves if you take a death in a bad place. What lies beneath? You don't want to find out. Spike through! Alright. Ah, too soon. Too late. What the... There we go. Got it. Got it. If you fall up, just pick yourself down. Good advice. Yep. The warning. Oh yes, it's this area in the game, I believe. The fun one. Oh, so many checkpoints. Getting here is half the fun. I'm going to attempt this once. Not getting down there. Getting down there should be okay. Oh yeah, this is going to be outstandingly fun if I keep dying. If I can't even get. Haha, nobody will ever get this one. Doing things the hard way, yeah. So, here's what you have to do. Okay. To get this shiny trinket. I have never been able to get this one. This is like one of those things on my video game bucket list, getting all the shiny trinkets in this game. This isn't the only one I've never been able to obtain, but it's certainly one of them. Because you have to really, really try, let's just say. Yeah. Ah, no. This is certainly one of the times when the game can become frustrating. If you go down that hole, you die. You actually have to go back down the way you came. Alright, that's enough. Maybe some other time, but not today. Ah! Damn it. Oh yeah, this is back towards the area where we started, I think. Is it? Yes, yes it is. So, don't jump down there or you'll be stuck. Or have to kill yourself. Like, there's a backstory to this game, but, I don't know, that's something you can find out for your own. I'm not too interested in that kind of extra lore and stuff. Okay, this is one where the checkpoint placement can be a little bit, dickish, let's say. Alright, to get this one, it's a little bit of a puzzle to figure it out. You need to get through here without, stepping on a single checkpoint. I will try and demonstrate. If I can figure it out. Yeah, a deception. Damn it, so close. Ha! Damn it. Alright, you know, if I can forget it. Maybe that's a future challenge on its own, getting 100% in this game. Because I suppose a good use of this particular series is scouting out future challenge-accepted challenges. Okay. If you break this and, like, go back, this thing still isn't broken. What you have to do is save yourself at that checkpoint, get to here without dying or touching another checkpoint, then kill yourself here. You'll start there and the platform will be moving. That's really clever. Burp, burp, burp. Game saved. That's 2 down. However, now there's a little bit of a twist. Now every time we find someone, we get an intermission. And this adds a little bit of replay to the game, because you'll always go to this one second. The second crew member you find will bring you here. And every single crew member has unique dialogue for every single area, which is interesting. And you get to a further examination of each of their personalities. Now the mechanic here should be quite simple. He'll come closer to me when I'm on the ground, he won't when I'm on the ceiling. V6 does a lot with very little, and I like that. It's similar to Cannonball in that regard. It's just another showcase that you don't need all these complex mechanics to make a good, fascinating game. And the fact that so many more games like this came out later really makes me feel that the book came out too soon. Even the 2013 version. Alright, this one can be annoying. Oh yeah, and your friend will frown if you die. Alright. Okay. Now you gotta go fast over the first one and slow over the second. There we go. Do-do-do-do. So you start by doing that. You start by not dying. Every area is a little bit of its own puzzle. Although I wouldn't call this a 2D puzzle platformer like, say, Braid. Mind your head. Okay, this one. This one's not too bad. If you don't do that. There we go. Alright, this area is a little bit annoying. It's the final challenge here. There's no way to lose, but after all the deadly things, the final challenge is this weird snake tunnel. And boom. I don't know all their names, so I'm gonna say we just saved the yellow one. Vitellery, okay. I mean, the other ones are named after colors, like Viridian, which I was fairly sure is a type of green. That looks more blue to me. Violet and Vermilion. And I know that Vermilion is a color because of Pokemon. Alright. Like, if you don't know where to find the other guys, just focus on filling out your map. You're gonna run into someone eventually. I wouldn't say it's difficult to navigate. Maybe if the map was bigger, it would be more of a nuisance, but I don't know. The map does make it quite easy. Let's see here. Ah. You get a lot of tunnels like this sometimes. And a checkpoint, so I probably have to go back the same way. Yep. See what I mean by sometimes the checkpoints are placed in dickish locations? It'd be so easy to just run into the spikes and not have to go back up. Because going up is definitely harder than going down. It's just not how your brain works. Which is why this game has a flip mode, which flips everything. And it actually does make things a little bit more challenging. Alright, we're going up. It's a teleporter. Teleporters are good. Ah! Vermilion, what the fuck are you doing standing near a pit of spikes? Hey, Captain, this way looks a little dangerous. No shit! I think everywhere looks a little bit dangerous, don't you? Oh, yay, it's this one. Doop-de-doop-de-doop-de-doop. Gotta get to the swirlies. So after today, I think I'm gonna start playing games that helped define genres or the industry. Like, I'm fairly sure that after this game, I want to play Space Invaders because that's one of the most important video games ever made. And I want to do that so I have a frame of reference for pretty much every single genre. They're going to be mostly obviously yeses, but I think it's important for me to do something like that so I can judge if a game is a yes or no better. because sometimes it's quite difficult to tell without a reference. Like, right now, I'd probably be absolutely useless at determining if a space shooter or a shoot-'em-up is worthy of being a must-play. A lot of them are just interchangeable to me. Same with fighting games. And don't even get me started on sports games. Okay, so here's the mechanic here, Pac-Man. With the funkiest song. So your goal is to get to the area that doesn't connect. Short circuit. With what I believe have a lot of movie references. Oh yeah, you can play this game with one hand. Like I said, actually, an Atari controller, you could play this with just a joystick. Never mind just an Atari controller. Atari, yes. Although I prefer to hit the space button. And some of these areas can be a little bit challenging. They really stretch your brain as you figure out which way you have to go. Sweeney's Maze. I have no idea who the fuck Sweeney is. Yeah, some of these references I do not get at all. Mind the gap. Edge games. This is another one of the ones that I can't get. I think those are the only two that I haven't been able to get. Okay. Ah! Twisty little passages. I love you. Maybe I should have played this game on Valentine's Day. Okay. Got it. That's why I have to kill you. How cute. Ah. God damn it. This room could be quite the challenge. Got it. It's not easy being green. Alright, luckily we don't have to escort this guy far. Just here. Now for my least favorite part of this game, the Gravitron. This is the area where I tend to die the most. And this is where a no deaths run would probably end for me. Which is really, really terrible because this is the third crew member you rescue. Is the one that will always bring you here. Alright, that positive... Okay, so yeah, you're basically bouncing here. You get a checkpoint every 5 seconds. Even then, it's still challenging. You gotta survive for a minute. Just bouncing up and down like this. And do know it's still Pac-Man mode. Ah! I don't know why people tend to think of Pac-Man when levels do this, wrap around like this, because Pac-Man was not the first game to do it. I gotta focus. That's what I gotta do. I just gotta focus. Made it to 45 seconds. Focus. Focus. Must do the focusing. Okay, it's slow right now for some reason. Must do all of the focusing. That was close. Oh, yay, now they're coming from both directions. That's perfect. Also, don't take what I say is going to be next too seriously, because I have a hard time going with my plans. Sometimes a game will call to me, or I have an urge to play any specific random game. And there's a lot I want to do straight away, because there's a lot of material to get out of the way. No. Yeah, 15 seconds. I don't know if there's any strategy or whatever to survive longer. The only thing I know about it is that I don't know it. And I'm stuck at 15 seconds. Perfect. Perfect. 10 seconds. Okay, that's marginally better. 5 seconds. Okay. Pretty much there. Phew, you're okay. I feel dizzy. Yeah. I really do like Commander Viridian. His optimistic attitude is just wonderful. Okay, one final one to go, and I think I know where to find him. Oh, it's already been half an hour. Ah! God, how many deaths have I had? 144. Strange, doesn't really even feel like it. This game is definitely a yes, if you're wondering. Like, it doesn't have much. And like Cannibal, I don't think it's going to be a yes in, say, 100 years or so. But for now, it's definitely very fun, and there's no reason anyone wouldn't like this game, I think. And I really do like its attitude towards difficulty. It's not too hard, but it's definitely a game that you should try if you're itching to try a more difficult game without getting into the super hard big boys like Super Meat Boy or Dark Souls. And like I said, there's just a lot of replayability in this game. So yeah, here's our final level mechanic. Trampolines that bounce you automatically and continuously. Also, I just love how this area looks. It's definitely my favorite aesthetically, even though it's very minimal, just black with a couple of lines, but it just looks so cool, like neon signs. Neon signs are mesmerizing to me, and I don't know why. I just love that aesthetic. Here's a mess of rambling tunnels. there's a shiny thing that's extremely easy to get. 4 out of 20. Yay. Alright, we go down. I'm helping! Yes, yes you are. You're helping very, very nicely. Thank you very much for helping. I don't know, I just love this game's cheerful optimism. Also, if you're wondering when I warned about seizures, this area isn't exactly what I had in mind, but it could probably do it to you. The area that I'm... There's an elephant hidden somewhere in this game. No, I'm not kidding, that has really bright flashing lights. I thought I might have accidentally run into it. It doesn't do anything, it's just there, and guards the trinkets. But the lights there are rapidly flashing, and it's a very safe bet that you would have issues if you suffer from seizures of any kind. This. I fucking hate this room. This is the room that caused the most challenge for my 50 death run. But I figured it out. Every room is a new puzzle. Ah, come on. There we go. I smell it. And there we are. Let me explain everything. What? I didn't understand any of that. Oh well, don't worry. Follow me. Everything will be alright. Okay then. Let's go! Level complete. You have rescued a crew member. All members rescued. Welcome to the final area of the game. Where's Captain Viridian? And if you're wondering why the game is named VVVVVV, despite having, I guess, a ton of spikes, every one of the main characters' name begins with a V. I want to say it's the stupidest title I've ever heard, but it's actually incredibly memorable, and you can't mistake any other game for V6. Or and the soundtrack is called PPP PPP because every song in the game starts with a P. Speaking of that, this is some good stuff. Now in this final area in the game, all of the mechanics are basically married together. It's the final exam, and you gotta remember everything you've learned. On top of that, you need to be really good at platforming. Alright, yeah. Gunsmoke, be switched, television, news wheel. Oh yeah, this. Just gotta wait for the right time and go through. Boop, 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 boop. This one's harder to figure out the right timing for. And now. Ah! So yeah, it's almost kind of random chance for me in the second one here as to whether I get through or not. Because you fall at a different rate from them, and that's something I can't really figure out in the millisecond. Got it. It's 1950 Silverstone Grand V. I don't know what that is. Just go with it. Sometimes having too much patience can make some of these areas a little bit harder. DIYV repair. Status online. This must be... I wonder if I can turn it off. Warning, disabling the dimensional stability generator may lead to instability. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes. Are you really sure you want to do this? Yes. Warning, dimensional stabilizer offline. Uh-oh, then he's back to smiling. Alright, final area of party time, with some nice flashing party effects. Like I said, I just love how this game looks aesthetically. I think the same guy who did this also did Super Hexagon, which also looks nice and trippy. Damn it. Imagine doing this last area without checkpoints at all. That's what you have to do when you're doing a limited death run. If you go right immediately after you get hit, you will almost inevitably make it through every single time. Now here the game is going to be reusing assets, but I think that kind of makes sense considering you just caused instability. The 9 o'clock news, and now you're forced in the center here. You can't Pac-Man your way out of this one. And it's like the Gravitron. Annoying! Gunsmoke 1966. Cosmic Creepers. Up, down. The Villy people. I have no idea why these rooms are named these specific things. You gotta be patient, that's all. Just gotta be patient. I think this is also a 3DS game now. I don't own it on 3DS, I'm playing it on the PC version because that's the version I personally own. And yes, I have played this a lot. You could check my Steam profile and see how many hours I put into this. Okay, let's... Just gotta take it slow. I don't know why this room, of all rooms, is giving me so much trouble. I'm not good with the bungees, I guess. Or the trampolines, whatever you want to call them. Come on, we're almost at the end of the game here. Alright. The trick is to focus on your guy instead of the environment. Oh hey, the tower's back for round 2. In the panic room. Oh yeah, this one will tend to divert your attention away and make you take the actual wrong direction where you get stuck. Which I think is one of the few times this game is cheap. It's a death you can only really avoid if you can see it coming. And you can't see it coming the first time around. See, on that block there, you're stuck. Over here, though, you can just... in the margins. Heaven's Gate. The final challenge! I.e., the tower coming back for round 3, I guess. Phew. We're here. Yeah, the final challenge is getting over this stupid piece of shit. The last straw. W. V. And we go up. Up into outer space. That is V6. Trinkets found, 5. Game time, 45 minutes. Not bad. Total flips. Hardest room, the 40. I died 44 times. And I'm going to spend like 2 minutes in there. That's it. Wow. This is certainly a yes. It's really, really fun. And it just makes me happy. That's all I can say about it. Really. Hello. Captain, you're alright. I knew you'd be okay. You were very worried and didn't come back, but when you turned off the source of the interference, we were able to find you with the ship's scanners and teleport you back on board. Looks like this dimension is just starting to destabilize, just like our own. We could stay and explore for a little longer, but eventually it'll collapse completely. So, I guess what they're saying is that V6 needs a sequel? That would actually be pretty nice, although the game is pretty compact. Also, you could press space to make the credits go by quickly. With rooms named by Bennett Foddy. Wait, he's the guy who made the hammer and the bucket game. He named the rooms in this? That's something I didn't know. Thank you for playing. And then you get a printout. Of the people in the band. Oh, no. Yes, they are people. They're space alien people. Playing instruments. If you want to explore from the game room, you unlock time trial, flip mode, intermission levels, play modes, intermissions. Play intermission 1, play intermission 2. Yeah, you can play the Gravitron as anyone you want. Or with anyone you want. But I think that's it for this one. Alright, we're done here. See you guys next time. That's 6 out of 1001. We're getting somewhere. Very, very slowly.